Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad, where we sit down together and we make a card. Now of course I'm standing, but I always stand when I craft, but if you want to sit down you can, or you can stand up, whatever. Now in today's lesson we are going to make this flip it card. It's one of my favorites right now, and it says everything is, well first of all it says hello, and it says everything is going to be all right. And look at those beautiful pink flowers on there. Now you know I love pink flowers, or pink and flowers, so of course I love pink flowers. But look at how much fun this is, and we are going to make this card together. Now you're going to need a couple products, or you can use other products that you have. The first one you're going to want to get is the Hello die, Flip It die. Now technically this one has, it's Lively Flip It, and it's been a very popular one, so you probably already have it. And this one has the little birdie on it. We're not going to do the birdie, but it has that one. Then we're going to use the Lively Framelits for this card as well. We're also going to use this item from Sizzix that I designed. This is Flowers number 4, and it has the stamps and the dies that match, which are very exciting. And we're going to use a lot of Stamps of Life cardstock, lots of Stamps of Life pattern papers. We're also going to use 3 different color ink pads. We're going to be using Sky, we're going to be using Guava, and Banana. So we have those 3 there. And lastly, I'm also going to be using some blenders, so we're going to be playing with those a little bit today too. So we have a lot to do, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to die cut our card. Now this die set comes with 10 dies, but don't be overwhelmed with that. I always like to say that. You're only going to focus on the 3 largest dies in the kit, and then also this time around the Hello die. So we're going to grab all those out, move that off to the side. Let's get our machine. Now these dies will work in competitors' machines as well, but of course they love the Sizzix machine. So the Big Shot, the Big Kick, the Vagabond, the Big Shot Plus, the Big Shot Pro, all those wonderful machines. And we're going to lay this down and we're going to run this through. Now we want to make sure we don't have any speed bumps. You've probably heard me talking about speed bumps. No speed bumps. So we're going to angle this ever so slightly so we can run this through our machine. We're going to grab another cutting pad and we're going to run this baby through. Now the nice thing about these dies is it cuts and scores it for you at the same time. So you don't have to worry about, taking it to a scoring machine or anything like that. It does everything for you. See all those score lines there? Perfect. So we're going to lay that down. Then we're going to get the coordinating dies and we're going to cut the layers. So we're going to lay that down and lay that down. And we're doing the small one, this version. And do you notice on this paper, that design might look familiar to you. That is also an embossing folder that I have with Sizzix, which is kind of fun. So you'll see a lot of the same patterns over and over, which is really fun because then you know everything matches. Everything coordinates together with my lines. So we're going to tilt those just ever so slightly so we don't have any speed bumps, and we're going to run those through the machine. Easy peasy. Get all those through. And then we're going to put those off to the side. There's 1. There's 2. Then we are going to die cut our Hello. Now the Hello comes in the kit, but we also need to get the framelit size. So this one you can see, I'm just going to lay it right on top of that, and you can see that it totally lines up with that one. So we're going to grab that one because we want that to be on the background. So we're going to die cut the solid out of white. And we're going to die cut this one out of yellow. Now this one has a lot of dies on it, a lot of die lines on it. So I'm going to get tricky and I'm going to grab some Sizzix adhesive because I don't want to have to worry about adhering that to my paper later. So I'm going to peel some of this off. This is only half a sheet because I've used some of it earlier. And I'm just going to lay this down on there just like that. Now I don't have to worry about adding adhesive later. And I'm going to close that up like that, and this is a trick that I kind of taught myself because I don't want to ever waste any of this Sizzix adhesive because it's fantastic. So we're just going to trim that off just like that, and I have a little extra here, and I want to trim that off too because I don't want that to get through my machine and get sticky on the edges. So I do feel like it's a little sticky still, and we don't want any sticky edges because it'll stick to your cutting pad and it makes kind of a mess. Let me trim that, and you don't want a mess, right? So I think I pretty much got most of that. Okay, so we're going to lay that down and we're going to die cut this one. I'm going to lay those really close together because Number one, I'm going to use a smaller cutting pad so I don't have to roll it so many times. But because it has so many blades and it has adhesive on the back. I'm just gonna run it back through. This die would be perfect for the Sizzix Precision Base Plate because it's metal. But because I wasn't using that, I'm gonna use two. Now I'm gonna use the little roller to get that out, peel that out, and then I can adhere it to my little base here. But what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna ink the edges. Now inking's kind of new to us at Stamps of Life, which is very exciting. We have these cute little blender tools, and I just lightly get a little bit of ink. You don't need much because you want to start little and go more. So you can just add the edges just like that. And it just adds a little bit of pop. I like that because it almost looks like another layer of cardstock, but it's not. And it just adds a little bit of extra oomph. So you can do as little or as much as you want. I like to just do about that much. We're going to close our ink pad. They won't dry out very easily, but they will get all over your project. So we're going to lay this down onto our white. Peel off that Sizzix adhesive. Now you're going to see how wonderful that Sizzix adhesive is to have on there, because if you didn't have it on there, oh, trying to add adhesive to the back of this would be a little bit hard. So all those extra pieces just kind of fly out. We're going to open this, lay that down, and we're going to, oops, got a little dirty on there. There we go. Oops, there we go. So we're gonna lay that down, but see how that little extra inking just kind of adds a little extra oomph to our project, which is kind of fun. So we're gonna lay that down. We have that ready. And then let's do our flowers and our butterfly. So first we have to stamp those, and we are going to stamp them on pink. I'm gonna stamp one of each, and I already have some done. So we're gonna stamp the butterfly and the flower. So we're gonna open up this set. Now this is a brand new set, so what do you want to do first? You always want to stamp on, when it's a brand new stamp, you always want to stamp onto scratch paper before you, here let's see, oh that one's dirty, before you stamp on your project. So let's lay that down, and we are doing this in guava. So I need to find some scratch paper. And it looks like I have a big piece right there. So I'm just going to stamp right there on scratch paper. Now, oh, I got a beautiful impression. But the first or second times you ever use a stamp, you always want to stamp on scratch paper first, just to make sure that you get any extra ickies off. So I'm going to stamp that. Perfect. And then I'm going to grab another one because we're going to die cut those out in just a second. And then on this one, I'm going to stamp my cute little butterfly. So I'm going to close that up. Now we do need two butterflies, and let me show you why. There's one butterfly there, and they're back to back. There's the other butterfly. So we want to make sure we have two butterflies. I'm just going to stamp one because I already have another one done, but I do want you to see it stamped. So we're going to grab this cute butterfly, peel him off, and I'm lazy, so I'm just going to use the other side of my block, and we're just going to ink him up. Again, we need to find some scratch paper for the first time. So let's just use some of our scratch over here. Stamp him. Let's stamp him one more time. Awesome. So now let's stamp him onto white. Perfect. And then we're going to get him. Well, actually, we're going to use one of these so I don't have to die cut him twice because we don't want to have to worry about that. And let's get our other one that's already done. And then let's die cut these two. So we're going to get the dies that match, that come in the kit, which is handy dandy. That and that. We're going to line these babies up. Just like so. And I am using the Sizzix magnetic platform, of course, because that's the only way to do it. And you're going to say, this flower doesn't line up, this flower doesn't line up. Keep turning, because boom, there it is, right? You just got to keep moving it around until it hits the right spot. So I'm going to use my cutting pad, and I have a colored cutting pad so I know where it is on my desk, and we're just going to run these through. Easy peasy. Now on our little butterflies, ooh, crash. On our little butterflies, we added just a cute little detail. So let's move this over just a little. You'll see, and I'll show you the before and the after, just so you can get an idea of what I'm going to do. See how my butterfly that I just started isn't as decorated as the second butterfly, as the finished product. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add some pen lines, and I'm just grabbing a regular gel pen. You can use any pen you have, and I'm going to color in the body, easy peasy, just to add a little extra oomph to it in my blue Doesn't match exactly, but it's still gonna look really cool. So I'm just gonna color that in. You could use any markers you have, any pens that you have. You don't have to get fancy, just anything. And we're just gonna add some cute little dots all the way around. Just add a little extra, make it our own. Boom. And I'm gonna quickly just do this side. There. Isn't that cute how it just adds a little extra oomph? So now my stamped image has turned into your creation, which is fun. So there we go. So now let's start getting that. Oh, we need our little banner. So we have our little banner, and that stamp set, I didn't even talk about that. Whoops, sorry. That is our banner set, and it was supposed to be in here. I know I pulled it. It didn't get pulled in, but everything is going to be all right. And so we stamped those, and then we've die cut them. And I already have them stamped and die cut, so they're ready to go. I just used the same shape I did for the white. And let's start putting our card together. We're gonna lay our card out in front of us. And I have a rule. When you do flip it cards, never, ever, ever decorate the inside centerpiece of your card, the front or the back, until you've folded it. Because if you do, you might accidentally decorate the wrong side. You might think you're decorating the inside, and when you fold it, it ends up being the outside. So go ahead and put all of your layers on and then fold it and then decorate your inside. So let's add these. And this pattern paper is just one of my favorites. Add this one. And all of these items are available on our website. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold our flip it. We're gonna hold it in the air with a big bottom, little top. We're gonna fold it in half towards us on the score lines. And then on the other second set of score lines, we're gonna fold it up and then turn it to the left. Little side is always on the left, LL. There's our flip it, easy peasy. So now we're gonna decorate. We know this is the front, so we're gonna decorate that. You can use pop dots if you want. I'm just gonna lay mine down. And I'm not gonna put adhesive all the way under it because I'm gonna sneak my little butterfly right behind it. So I have room to sneak my little butterfly. And I thought I had another decorated one, but I guess I don't. So we're going to add adhesive to this little guy on the little wing. That's going to go right back here, just like that. We kind of want to bring him in just a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then on the back, we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to just add this one right there behind it. Perfect. Isn't that cute? Now we're going to add our everything is, and we're just going to add a little bit of adhesive right in the center. You always want to make sure when you have things hanging over that you don't add adhesive to the wrong spots because I've been known to do that, to put adhesive here and then it'll stick to my card, and we definitely don't want that. I have ink on my hands. Okay, let's add some flowers. Now, just for kicks, I don't have colors added to, I don't have ink blended onto that one, but I'm going to add just a little bit of ink to this one. I like to do this in the air. You can also do it on a piece of paper if you want to. I'm old school. I just kind of go around the edges just like this, and see how I'm turning my wrist as I go to make sure it gets in all the little crevices. It just adds such extra dimension, and it just kind of, you can always add more if you want more. You can go really far into it, whatever you want. I just like to, just add a little extra look. So it's fun. And let me just show you the difference. I hope you can see the difference. This one, my fingers are all dirty, but this one is new, and this one has the ink around it. And it just adds a little extra dimension, which is fun. So we'll move that off to the side, close our ink pads, because I will put my hand in it if I don't. I'm gonna lay, the nice thing is I have ink on my card here, but I'm covering it with the flowers, so that is fantastic. So we'll add a little bit of adhesive here, and then we're gonna add some flowers behind it. I'm sorry, some leaves behind it. Now I've already cut out the leaves. They're hiding over here. They come in the kit. So I've just die cut some leaves. And we're gonna add 2 over here. So we'll add 1 behind this one. And then we'll add another one behind this one. See how easy these cards come together? They're just so simple, simple, simple. Now we're gonna add the other flower over, let's see, right here. So see how these flowers they almost touch, they overlap, and then you open it up. So we're gonna close this up, and we're gonna just lay that right there. That looks good. So we'll add adhesive right there. And we're going to add just one leaf to this one. And I'm going to add adhesive to both sides so it really sticks. There we go. Now, to finish this card, oh, we got to add the inside. Add the inside, because remember we have the inside. Where, oh, there it is. Oh, and let's add some inking around that. That I haven't done yet, and I don't think I have my tangerine out. This one was done in tangerine. So I don't have my tangerine. We're going to use the banana. Banana. Where's banana? Here it is. Okay, so we're going to add some banana. And you can use different colors, which is kind of fun. But I do recommend only using one blender per color. I feel like it really, I mean, some people do one color here and one color here. But my problem with doing that is, and I don't know if you would be like this, if you're more organized than I am, you could handle that. But I accidentally will say, oh, this is the right one, and grab it and use the wrong end, and then boom, I get the wrong color. So you don't want to mess up your project. I would recommend getting one for each one. So let's add that one. And we're just going to add it right, actually I'm going to put it under my, I don't remember how we did it on this one. Oh yeah, we put it the opposite, but I'm going to put it under like that. Okay, and then as a finishing thing, we are going to add these cute little daisies, because those flowers are adorable, but look how different they look. Look at the before and the after when you change that. Doesn't that look fantastic? It just looks totally different. So we're going to add these, and I'm going to use a Zot from Thermoweb, because these are so much easier than trying to get adhesive on those little spots. So we're just going to add a little one right there. Look how fun that is. And you never think to add these flowers to another flower because they're a different shape, but it just changes, completely changes your card. And there we go. Hello, everything is going to be all right. Isn't that fantastic? Easy peasy. If I can do it, you can do it. Thanks so much for joining me for another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad. I hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.